Everyone says that you shouldn't react, but I believe you have a right to react if you want to. Or do you? What I want to do is take a look at this a little bit more in depth, because in my experience, it's never really about what it's about. When you react instead of responding, which is what I like to do, reacting is done in a compulsive state, and it's usually an out of control type of a response or a reaction. And normally when we react in an angry or hostile way, there's simply only one reason for that. And that reason is because something or someone isn't happening the way we want it to happen. And so it bothers us and we snap, we react. The thing about that is it's very important that you take a look at it in the truest sense. In other words, how life actually functions. So there's 8 billion people on the face of the planet. They all have plans. They all have things that they want to have done. And we all, just like you, want stuff to go our way. And it can, when we're talking about your internal life, that can happen your way. But when you start talking about a life that is shared with other human beings, then we have to be flexible. The reason something isn't happening my way today is probably because it's somebody else's turn for it to happen their way. See, life is constantly a give and take relationship. There's a transaction that's happening between 8 billion people on the planet. And it's unrealistic for you or for me to think that everything should happen the way I want it to happen. Because if that was the case, then everybody else would have to put aside their likes, dislikes, and wants, because I want everything to happen my way, or you want everything to happen your way. I think instead of reacting to things, I think that a form of responding to things is a better way to go. So what's the difference between a reaction and a response? Reacting means I'm only thinking about what I want. Responding means that I'm aware that there are other people that are involved in this dynamic and that they should get as much of a consideration for what they want to happen as me. I'm not the center of the universe, and either are you. It's very important to stay small, but to keep growing spiritually. Let me expand on that a little bit. Is it not true that when I have plans in life, most of the time it involves other people? True. And is it also not true that when they have plans, most of the time it involves other people? Like me, I could be one of those people. What I'm trying to get you to really take a look at is to understand that everything is not supposed to go your way. And you don't get to react and pick up your toys and leave the sandbox every time something doesn't go your way. It's not supposed to go your way all the time. Sometimes it's supposed to go your way, and sometimes it's supposed to go my way, and sometimes it's supposed to go Jane's way or Johnny's way. But that is fair. That's the way life works. Everybody on this planet isn't set up to make sure that you get what you want. You're going to be a very frustrated human being if that's what you have as an expectation. And you might not even have it as an expectation consciously. It might be a subconscious way. Look at it. Look at the people in your life today. Look at people who are always angry or always miserable or always frustrated. And some of these people have a lot as far as good jobs, good cars, nice homes, good families. But yet the slightest little thing that doesn't happen their way, it blows up their day. That's not an intelligent way to be as a human being. It's important that you understand sometimes things go your way, sometimes they go my way, no matter how hard I plan. There's no guarantees. I have to share something with you. Some of the most influential events that happened to me in my life were things that I didn't want. In my mind, I had them pegged as this is the worst thing that can happen to me. And through life circumstances, I was forced to accept them at the time. And in retrospect, they are some of the greatest things that could have happened to me. And if it was up to me, and if I could have manipulated it, I would have wished it away. On the flip side of that, there was things that I did want to have happen in my life that didn't happen, and those turned out to be the best things that could have never happened to me in my life. So what this teaches me is that life is a series of take and give. You can't have everything happen your way. It wouldn't be good for you, and it wouldn't be good for me. I have a very good friend of mine that I love very much who will stay unnamed, but he's the type of guy that will always call me about a complaint about, this isn't going my way, that isn't going my way, or his favorite complaint is, why is this happening to me? That's a legitimate answer. Why is this happening to me? Whatever it might be. And it's a legitimate question, and the answer is because it's your turn. That's all. It's nothing personal. It's just life. It's in session. Sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it goes my way. Life doesn't care how much plans you made, how much money you spent to make sure this thing goes perfect. When life decides it's not going to go perfect, then you respond to life. You respond, you don't react. You just understand that that's just the way that is, and you learn to live with it. By learning to live with what life gives you, you become very serene. You let go of this that it must happen the way you want it to happen. Life doesn't work that way. So what I want you to do for the rest of the day, I want you to see if you can write down 2 things that didn't happen the way you want it to happen. I want you to write down these 2 things in detail, everything that you had planned and the fact and how it didn't work out for you. And once you have that, I want you to look at the fact that if it didn't work out best for you, who might it have worked out for? Who are the other parties that were involved in this situation or transaction? And when you've identified it, be happy for them, because it can't always go down the way you want it to go down. They too should have their day where things go their way. Sometimes it's at your expense. It's fair. And sometimes your happiness is at someone else's expense. That's life, breathing, back and forth, moving. That's the way things happen. And if you have a problem with that, basically what you're saying is you have a problem with life.